But here's what I'm saying. We are getting this spirit in our men, our young men, to not be aggressive, to not push. Well, don't be crude. Oh, guys, be crude. Burp through the alphabet. These women will never appreciate the value. Listen, ladies, you just don't appreciate the value of being able to burp through the alphabet. I'm sorry. And we've got some other competitions you don't even want to know about. You ought to see what the trophy looks like. But here's what I'm saying. We get this, you know, I gave it a little try. I pushed in that direction. I did the bare minimum. I accomplished my objective. At least I did what I was told, but you never went far enough. Let me explain this. I am, you know, you are in a land of hunters and fishermen. Boy, those guys down in my country, they all come. Every time we fly up here, we're always on an airplane full of guys with these, you know, they're either carrying bazookas or fishing rods. And I hear them, they're going, I'm hearing one guy, this guy talking to another guy behind him, said, hey, we'll land at such and such time at noon, and we'll be able to catch a plane. We'll be fishing 2 hours after we hit the ground, guys. You don't ever have to be upset about this American coming up and hurting your fish or your animals unless they step out in front of me while I'm driving. Where are they? They're over here. Parks his car. I'm going to hit him with that Jeep. But anyway, I'm not a fisherman. Okay, when I go fishing, it's just worm murder. I fish 1 day a year. That's enough. I fish with Dennis Coral. He's an evangelist out of Ohio, or out of Pennsylvania. We meet in Montana 1 day a year, and we go fishing, and I don't, you know, we don't catch anything but a cold. If you ever go fishing with Dennis Coral, the most important thing is not the fishing pole. It is not the bait. It's not carrying stuff to bring the fish back. It is hiking boots, because you are going to go. We do Star Trek fishing because we go where no man's ever gone before. I mean, I'm in Montana, and I knew I was in trouble when Canadian border guards turned us back. I said, we have gone too far. We one time ended up, we're fishing, and this guy walks up and says, excuse me. Yeah, he goes, you do know you're on private property. We're standing in his backyard. I said, well, the swing set was kind of a giveaway. Now I said, oh, Dennis, look, a house. That must have been all that noise we heard. Last time we went, the guy asked Coral, what kind of bait you want? He said, night crawlers. He goes, and I've never heard a guy ask this before. It was obscene. He said, now, do you want night crawlers or baby night crawlers? And I wanted to yell out, Coral, not babies. I mean, it's bad enough I'm a worm murderer. I don't want to be a worm abortionist. But I figured this out. I told myself, I'm going to catch fish next time. Next time, I'm going to light the bait before I throw it in the water. And I'll probably get something. So I'm not a fisherman. I'm not a hunter. I have nothing against hunting, okay? But if you know, I used to go with these guys in my church, and they taught me how to hunt. I was not raised in a hunting culture. I was raised 3 blocks from the steel mills, and that's what I did. I stole. My dad worked in a steel mill. I mean, Bud, listen, I stole hubcaps. I just left them on the car. Okay? Why take them one at a time when you can take all 4 at once? So I'm not, you know, and so the guys in my church taught me how to hunt, you know, and they taught me how to drive for deer. And they were really thoughtful. They were kind. They were, you know, they understood my ignorance. They never took advantage of me. In fact, I didn't have to pay for it. They gave me this deer cape with these antler hats that I would wear, and they'd tell me to go through the woods to try to drive the deer. That was really where I learned to run. It wasn't so bad, but this guy in my church tried to gut me. But I'm not a hunter. I'd go hunting. Now, in New York State, that's where I pastored. In New York State, you can't use long rifle. It's a shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun. And so, I'm not a hunter, I'm not into it, but I had a guy in my church. This guy is a killer. I'm telling you, he's a killer. You know what kind of killer is? If a herd of deer or a flock of deer, a pod of deer, whatever those are, a large number of deer cross the road, they crossed the road in front of him, he aimed at the one he wanted and rammed it with his car. You guys would try to miss it. He picked the one he wanted, because then you can claim it. I said, yeah, that's great, Paul, but I said, how do you explain to the sheriff that you hit it a half a mile in the woods from behind? The day before opening season, we right in front of our church, a guy, and this guy was not a hunter either. He was real kind of meek and everything. He pulled out and dropped, he hit a six-pointer the day before opening season right in front of my church. This hunter-killer macho man goes up to him and he goes like, you got to have a glassy-eyed stare, and he goes, I'll gut it for you if I can have the heart. I said, Paul, did you want to take that home or did you want to eat it here? Listen, in my church, my guys ran over so many deer, they thought a deer tag was something you screw to the front bumper of your truck. So I'm hunting, and I want to get something, okay? I want to get something. I travel now, and people go, do you hunt? I said, are you kidding? I said, you ever see the size of a freezer in a trailer? Anything bigger than a rabbit doesn't go in there. And I had some guy go like this, well, if you get a deer, you could give it to me. This is not the face of a fool. I'm going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, sit in a tree at sub-zero temperatures. Am I having fun yet? And then shoot something to give it to you. I will gut you. So here it is. This happened. Last day of hunting season, last day. This is my last chance to kill something. You say, you really want to kill it? No, I really, ladies, oh, look, it's so fluffy, it's so sweet, it's okay. I say, yeah, I know. How do you get over that? I just say it's a Democrat. It's a Democrat in disguise. Wants my gun, I'm going to give it the bullet first. So here's what we do. We drive out this place. There's about an inch of snow. Not a lot. It's about an inch of snow on the ground. And this guy goes, you go in the woods over here. Of course, I was wearing my cape and my hunting gear, my authentic hunting gear. And he said, I'll go over this way, and you go this way. And this guy, he's the kind of guy, he walks in the woods he'll go hunting with 5 different guys. He walks in the woods ahead of me here, boom, 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 boom. And he runs up and goes, give me your tag, I just filled it. That's how he is. Yeah. So, but wait a second. I know I'm not a hunter. I know that. I mean, when I'm in the woods, unless you are, clinging to the top of a tree or in a low-flying plane, you're not in danger. So before I started in the woods, here's what I did. I prayed, and here's what I prayed. I said, God, you know I'm not a hunter. I said, I need you to lead me. Please lead me to the deer. I stepped in. I stepped in the woods about right here. I don't think I walked. I can remember I can distinctly remember entering the woods at the piano and finding this at the aircraft carrier. I walked up to a 4-lane deer highway. I mean, there were deer tracks this way. There were deer tracks this way. And there were a lot of deer tracks. This was like the main thoroughfare for deer. Now, I got a choice, left and right. I am a conservative. I make 4 right turns. I don't like to turn left at all. I don't like anything left. And so, but I am not making this decision. So now I am faced with another decision. I had another prayer. I said, God, tell me which direction to turn. Should I turn left? Should I turn right? Don't ask me, but I turned left. Okay. I'm following this deer highway, and I can see where more deer trails are entering this thing. And I come to a hedgerow. I'm talking about a hedgerow, maybe, it's wintertime, so it's basically dead, no leaves on it. You can see through it. Tree's about 8, 9 feet tall.